Let's go, Rider Nation.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah, here we go. It's a feeling now. Get 'em high, get 'em low, 'cause we're dealing now. Everybody's giving it all they got, 'cause we're ready.
Welcome to the Piffles podcast, the Saskatchewan Roughriders fan podcast. Thanks for joining us. You got me. I'm Alex.
And I am not Steve, because
No.
Steve is sitting in the dark.
Who's got more power, Steve or the Roughriders' first quarter offense?
Even though Steve's sitting in the dark, maybe Steve, because I know we're going to get into it, but quick sidebar while we're talking about this. So last Friday I was on the sports cage with Barney, and Luke was trying to tell, Luke Melinder was on, and he was like, and I asked him flat out about the slow starts, and he told me it wasn't going to make a difference. It made a difference. I think it made a difference.
It made a bit of a difference in that game. Yeah. Well, no Steve. So that means no rules. He's the one that always keeps us in check. So
Does he though? Does he?
no, not really. No. I was going to say it's going to go off the rails like we're ranting about the Bombers or something. Hi, Zach.
Zach. I hope you listen to this. That was amazing, and I'm sure we'll talk about this later.
It's in the lineup. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But first off, we want to thank everybody for listening wherever you get your podcasts, watching on YouTube or SaskTel Max TV on demand. Piffles podcast, of course, is brought to you by Dairy Queen on Elphinstone Street and Sask Drive in Regina. You can give us a follow at Piffles Pod. I'm at Real Alex D.
And as always, I do not need nor want your pity follows at Greg on Sports.
All right, check that one off the box there. Piffles Podcast is also proud to be sponsored by Kathy Festian of Royal LePage Next Level, Churchill Brewing Company, District 306, Regina's tactical laser tag experience, Bigfoot Vodka, and Creasy's Premium Home Leisure Jacuzzi Spas. Well, if there ever was a game for the Rough Riders to just mail it in the 2025 season, last week was the one to do it, and that's why I'm not mad about the game. Let's talk about it. It's time for the opening kickoff. Am I happy that the Riders lost? No, of course not. I'm not upset, though. Not upset.
Are we at we're not at the upset but disappointed stage like we were with Dickey?
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. No, I was mad then. I was mad with Craig Dickinson. Those guys quit. That we're not seeing that this year.
But let's be honest. The minute Edmonton lost that last second game and they pulled Sales and Campbell out, it's like, okay, they said it wasn't going to make a difference if Edmonton secured the playoff spot for them or not, but it's obviously it mattered if Edmonton secured that playoff spot or not.
Well, with the bye week coming up, and we're in it right now, if you have guys in a non-divisional game against Montreal last week that are questionable, like if it was a playoff game they'd play, or if it was a division game at the end of the year you needed to win to get first place, they'd play. But in a non-divisional game, they have the lead against Calgary right now. You clinch that playoff spot. You got the bye week. This was the time to sit Sales and Campbell. Make sure they're ready for those final 5 games, because we're going to need them for those ones. And this one, with the way that we handled McLeod Bethel-Thompson in that first game against Montreal, okay, well, we should be okay. That's the thinking of it. Obviously, that's not how it happened. But if there ever was a game for them to just absolutely mess the bed this year, this was the one to do it. So that's why it doesn't bother me that they lost. And the score kind of bugs me a little bit. 48-31, like 31 points by the offense they were interception on the goal line as well too. So pretty close to 38. They could have almost had 40 points in that game. So in a game where the offense puts up that many points, you should be winning CFL games with that. It was just that defense, right?
Well, and here's the thing. Like, I understand your point where sit them, and I was kind of with you on that as well, until I also remembered Kozi Onyeka's in. Like, we were also short Lacombo and Ford as well. So if you think about it, 3 out of the 5 defensive backs have a grand total of 4 CFL starts among the 3 of them. Like, and that's including last game. Like, that was Cozy's second start.
Yeah.
Like, it was a disaster. Like, no wonder Philpott looked like he was running a track meet, because like they just could have sent him on goes the entire time. I don't think anyone would have kept up with him because they just weren't ready for it.
Well, and that's obviously the big talker of this game was Kerfala Exume at corner, and then Benny Sapp as well. But they didn't really test Benny Sapp that much, not when they knew that Exume was going to get lit up every single time that that Philpott was on him. And good special teamer. Hope Exume never sees the field on defense ever again. Ever, because that was one of the worst performances.
Maybe in an injury situation where he's off in 3 plays and they don't realize he's out there, I will allow that. But the fact remains is, I understand Trevor Harris says don't flinch, but Exume, you can move before he's 5 yards behind you.
It felt like he was trying to do too much. He was trying to make a play because he was falling for everything. And being a cornerback, you have a little bit more time on those throws than you think you do on the wide side, right? So it's, again, I kind of shrug it off, like whatever. I just hope I never see him on defense again. That's where it is for me. We found out that he's a special teams only guy. What bothered me was that for 52 minutes he was on the field. They didn't replace him until 8 minutes left in the game. And the ratio was fine. They didn't have to play that extra Canadian spot. They started 3 Canadian receivers. They flipped the ratio around. They could have gone with an American in that spot. They could have played Antoine Brooks, although against Calgary he wasn't very good either. But
that's it. But that's it. Who are you going to replace him with? They're already decimated back there. Benny Sapp, like, I'm surprised we're not hearing he's going back to Clemson to be to do his other day job, because they basically just flew him in and put him out there to start. Like, how do we have a dozen receivers and we're short on defensive backs?
The thing that, why? You asked what they could have done. Why couldn't Dalkey go in to play safety and move Onyeka out to corner? But, and I know you can't, in the CFL, you can't really have your safety move over and play corner as well, to double team like you can in the NFL, where you have 2 safeties and it's easier for them to get to, the wideouts. But there was no help whatsoever for Exume. And the first touchdown, okay, fine. I get it. You get beat. Players get beat all the time. Tyson Philpott's a fantastic player. He's one of the upper tier receivers in this league. So fine, it happens. A second time, okay, maybe let's get this guy some help. But it was constant, over and over and over and over again. And we saw it coming miles away. And no adjustments by the coaching staff whatsoever. So the fact that they didn't do anything to try and help this guy out, that's the part that really bugs me about this game. Is where was the adjustments by the coaching staff, or
the only
do something?
The only really adjustments they could have done is in scheme, because they only had the 5 defensive backs dressed, and yes, you had Brooks Jr., Weeb, and Dalkey as the backup linebackers. So you're also going to need to spell those guys off every once in a while. Like, they came in massively not prepared in that defensive backfield when they decided that they were sitting Sales and Campbell, because Brooks Jr. was a last minute addition because of that change too.
Mm-hmm.
And they took Straker off out of the linebacking core last second too, to make everything work out. It's just, why did we need a 7th offensive lineman?
Well, with the rain, I thought it made sense to bring in an extra lineman. Okay, we're going to play a lot of jumbo packages, and you're going to play a lot of 6 lineman sets.
Two
And-
fullbacks?
and run the ball, I guess.
Like they could have left Straker back on that roster, and then you could have rotated Brooks Jr. through. But it's just yes, I guess if you're going to pound the ball, then fine. But they didn't even do that.
No.
Like I don't think we needed 2 fullbacks and 7 offensive linemen. You could have done well with like 6 and 2 or 7 and 1. And just I think they overthought it. They overthought it, and the defensive backfield got screwed of it because of it.
And now we're seeing, okay, the injuries that we've had on this team haven't really hurt the team yet this year. Good depth on this team. But okay, maybe we can, have one defensive back out. I don't know if we can have 2. We definitely can't have 3 out, especially, 2 of them being Canadians and adjusting to now all of a sudden your 4th and 5th Canadian defensive backs on the roster. So, I mean, learning experience, I guess you don't do that again.
Well, and like I said, the only thing you can do is flush it and forget it and move on. Because
and I'm sure honestly, that's the plan. They'll watch it when they come back from the bye week, but they're not going to spend a lot of time on it. I don't think so. But that also comes from a lack of pass rush in that game. There was no pass rush whatsoever. The first game against Montreal, they were getting home, hitting McLeod Bethel Thompson. What was that? That was the game they had 8 sacks?
it was,
Or whatever they had. And they got no pressure on him whatsoever. So the adjustments that Montreal made on the O-line to combat that between these 2 games, they did a hell of a job. And the Riders did. I think it's the coaching that let them down in this game.
And you can see the difference. They went with a lot of 4-man this game, as opposed to Winnipeg, where they were bringing that 5th or 6th guy just to add a little wrinkle. Because MBT is a lot like Zach Claros, and that's why I don't understand why they didn't basically just run it back like they did the week prior. Like keep him on his heels, keep him moving, but they were letting MBT sit back and chuck it up to Philpott.
Honestly, I think they were physically and emotionally drained from the back-to-back against Winnipeg. And honestly, they were playing with house money in this game. We picked them to win the Banjo Bowl, but realistically, they haven't won that game in, how many years?
7.
Plus,
2018, our first bus.
Right? So you almost go into that week expecting them to lose. If they keep it close, great. If they win, oh my God, that's amazing. So they won the Banjo Bowl. Now you're playing with house money. So you expect the split with Labor Day and Banjo Bowl, and then you expect them to win this Montreal game. Well, you got your 2 wins in the division against Winnipeg. This one, all of a sudden, didn't feel as important to me as any other game. So that's why I'm not too upset about this.
And that's fair. My only concern right now is staying above water and staying ahead of Calgary. Because unfortunately, because Calgary was on the bye week, they didn't play. We drop a game in air quotes. We're still only 2 games up of Calgary, and they've got this week to get within 1 again. So I just want to stay ahead of Calgary, and you got to beat the teams that are the weaker thens, and Montreal's one of them.
The offense, slow starts. We talked about Steve not having power and the Riders not having power in the first quarter. Lately, Trevor Harris commented on it post game that this can't keep happening. And it's been far too many games in a row where they're not getting anything going to start the game. They're going too many 2 and outs. They're just not moving the ball. They're not getting any points. They're finally getting something going, midway end of the second quarter. But by then, especially in this game, that was way too late. So they can't rely on the defense keeping them in it like we saw in the Banjo Bowl and then get an interception at the end to get a field goal and get some momentum and then, play in the third quarter and get the offense going. The offense needs to start fast. We saw it at the beginning of the year. They had no issues with it. I don't know what changed, but they're just not starting the way that they used to. Whether teams have figured them out, I'm not sure, but once the offense gets rolling, they're moving the ball very well. They scored 31 points. Good running game with Ouellette getting 90 yards. But they couldn't catch up in this one. And it was because of a slow start.
If I'm Corey Mace, I'm scrapping half of the warm up and we're doing skeleton for at least 15 minutes before the game starts to try to get to that second quarter mindset. Because I don't know why they take so long to get going. And yet when they start moving, they can put up points. Like you said, 31 points should win you a game. Or at least get you closer than the 17 points you lost by.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous that this team with these receivers and that running back and that quarterback cannot like just put the gas down and score points from the opening whistle. It's like at this point, it's a bug, not a feature. It is starting to become a problem.
Well, and I think some of that has to do with the injuries as well too, and that's the receivers. It's Sam Emilus. He's our leading receiver from the last couple of years. He's, we talk about right now, obviously it's Dante Myers, Keyshawn Johnson, the 1A, 1B. Well, Sam Emilus is a 1 as well too. So that's a big loss. And maybe that kind of coincides with him being hurt is the lack of slow starts.
And also you could they took Joe Robustelli out to make the ratio work this week last minute. And Robustelli has been that big catch guy last couple of games. Like, yes, Myers and Johnson have been the workhorses, but if there's been a catch down the sideline that needs to be made, it's always Robustelli.
Now that said, there were positives in this game. I mentioned Ouellette getting 90 yards. The rushing game did okay. Joe having his breakout game of the year, only his third game from returning from the NFL, 9 catches, 95 yards.
Not bad for a 7th Canadian receiver.
Yeah, he was just working it over the middle. And, usually that's where we see Dante Myers, Keyshawn Johnson work a lot is on those crosser routes or the slants. That was a Joe doing that this past game, and he looked good doing it.
If I'm the defense, I would rather Dante Myers come across the middle than a Joe.
He's a big boy.
I think he's going to stick a linebacker at one point this season.
He's not afraid of the contact.
Well, that's why they like having him on the roster. He's good at those blocking schemes too. Mm-hmm. Like he gets out there, he loves contact. So, it's like we've talked about it already. I don't know what they're going to do when everyone comes back. Like this receiving core is going to look a lot different because Bain is ready, Emilus is probably going to be ready, KSB is going to be ready.
Well, and so what do you do here? Because I'm liking Tommy Neild more and more.
So do I.
Every growing game, he's filling a very solid role for this team. He's not going to be the guy that's going to wow you all the time and put up video game numbers.
He reminds me of Chris Getzlaff.
He's making some very, very solid plays. Not a guy that you would expect to have, a 70-yard touchdown like we saw a couple weeks ago, but he has that ability. So when you look at, the ratio, are you just going to go with Myers and Johnson and go with 3 Canadian receivers? Because Emilus gets his starting spot back when he comes back.
He better, yeah.
A Joe, 9 for 95. You're not taking him out of the starting roster now.
No.
Tommy Neild, probably not taking him out. KSB, when he comes back, who's the backup there? Is it KSB the backup and Neild starts? Does Neild go to backup? Does Del Duncan Busby come completely off the roster? Do they go with, a couple extra, Canadian backups? So
fourth quarter Mitch is on this roster.
He won't be on it very.
He won't be.
Once Emilus comes back, he comes on for Picton. Obviously, that's the easy thing. But then it's once everybody's healthy with KSB, then what do you do? Yeah. So it'll be really interesting to see how this receiving group looks following the bye once Emilus and KSB can get back.
And then on the American side, you're leaving Robustelli and Sean Bain Jr.
Mm-hmm.
off the active roster because you only got room for 2 Americans, and there's not exactly room for a backup.
So that might be a conversation next week once the Riders hit the practice field ahead of the Edmonton game. But it's a great problem to have, especially when you have all the Canadians, talented Canadians that they have in the receiving group, and your 2 Americans are putting up very solid numbers, both going to be over 1,000 yards this year again. So there is positives to look at from this, and I thought some of these guys here, Joe, Dante Myers, that touchdown from Jake Mayer, and guys, calm down. I wasn't serious on social media when I said start Jake Mayer next week. Like people legitimately thought I was serious about that. Well, I thought I've made my stance clear on Jake Mayer. Apparently, I haven't been clear enough.
No, you have the people that know you. The problem is people know Rider fans, and sometimes, once or twice, there have been a few that have been known to be a little irrational and make knee-jerk proclamations, and that's what that came across as, if not knowing you.
I was trolling people and it worked.
Did it ever? But really, if I'm Mitch Picton, I'm working on my defensive back skills right now, because that might be the only way he gets back on this roster when Semlis comes back.
Man, what's Duron Carter up to? I'd rather have him at corner right now.
You're going to enjoy my remember that guy.
Oh,
but it's not Duron Carter.
Okay. And the other thing from this game too is more injuries, right? Yeah. Shane Ray, wrist, arm, whatever it was.
That wasn't good.
Yeah. He ran off the field. Like I could see him on the bench. He was in a lot of pain. So bye week, obviously, perfect for him there. Mm-hmm. But who knows going forward what that's going to be. We're not going to know until next week. The team's not going to say anything until next week when they have to. So that was a big loss. Malik Carney as well too. That was looked like a bit of a leg injury, knee injury. Hopefully, they can't afford to lose both of those guys.
No,
not with how they've both been playing this season. Shane Ray, I know the sack totals aren't, the highest by any means, but he's been
in that backfield
he's causing a lot of havoc. Malik Carney's finally starting to, put up the numbers to back up the play that he's been having.
Yeah. So
those were two big losses. Hopefully nothing serious with both of them, but again, we're not going to know that till next week. CJ Rivas left the game as well too. Again, can't really afford another loss, and he's listed as a linebacker, but he's essentially a defensive back, so you can't lose another one of those guys. Especially that guy's. I think he's one of the most 5 underappreciated players in the league.
Oh, 100% he is. Like he's been a stud in that defensive backfield for the Riders since they put him in that starting roster. So he's been a very important part of the way that defensive unit has been put together. So
his ability to rush the quarterback is excellent too. A very underappreciated part of his game, but on a national level, people here in Saskatchewan, we know how good this guy is. We see it, but on a national level, he's getting no love from the media or anything like that. So
he reminds me a lot of Tyron Brackenridge, just without the massive ability. Like, I'm not saying Rivas can't knock a guy's head off, and probably because of the rules, he's really not allowed to. However,
he's not allowed to tackle people the way that he does.
I know, that's what I mean.
Perfectly legal.
Like T-Brack, if that was T-Brack at the Badger Bowl, he literally would have took Claris's helmet right off.
Imagine if Craig Butler had a free run against Caleros right now.
Oh, we've seen that, and Buck Pierce, they made a commercial out of it.
And the other injury in this game that kind of stood out to me was Zach Fry on the offensive line. Good having Daniel Johnson back. He stepped in there and played left guard there, but again, another starter down. Not as concerned about that one as I am with the Ray Carney Rivas injuries, but still another one to monitor next week when the team comes back. So We're supposed to be getting healthy right now, not losing more guys. So
Well, that's it. Like they need to be healthy for, like, fortunately, like we said before, a game in June counts the same as a game in September and October.
yeah.
So luckily they got to that hot start. They just, like I said, they just need to keep on staying ahead in Calgary for that home playoff game, because that West Final in Regina is going to be a lot better than their West Final in Calgary.
Yep. So anyway, Riders lose 48-31. Could have been worse too if Baltos Diaz doesn't miss a couple field goals.
Doink.
Yeah. So the score kind of flattered the Riders, and that was a 17-point loss. It never felt like they were close.
How nice must it be just to go, yeah, we're at midfield, just send out the kicker. Like, are you kidding me?
He's got one hell of a leg.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
He's got a good little flex on him too.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
So immediately after the game, the Riders went out, and Jeremy O'Day, doing his job, this is excellent, signed a defensive back, Sheldrick Redwine. This guy has a lot of NFL experience.
Yeah.
Great last name too, Redwine. He'll fit in well here in Saskatchewan.
I don't know. It'd be better if it was Pilsner. I don't know how many red wine drinkers go to.
I know
Mosaic.
Pharmacist's last name is Pilsner. I wonder if he. Yeah. Awful beer though.
Yeah.
But Jeremy O'Day doing what he's supposed to do. Cornerback has a bad game. Let's bring another one in. And obviously, practice rosters are going to expand right away here. So hopefully,
that's like what bodies. That's one of those ultimate Gabbo. That'll shut those LSOBs up. I know exactly what I'm going to hear about on Monday. Here we go. You happy now? Got a DB.
But you know what? These signings, even if it's a plan for next year, this is exactly how Roland Milligan got his start in the CFL in 2022. Yep. He was one of those September signings, played 2 games or whatever it was in October that year.
It was two really good games. Yeah.
Yeah. And 2023 starter breakout year, 2024 most outstanding
MOP.
Defensive player, MOP, right? Like, so these aren't nothing signings by any means. Oh. So,
and you already saw a bunch of teams, and I don't know if the Riders are just waiting until the bye week before they announce theirs, but you've seen teams that are playing this week already have expanded their practice rosters. So I'm assuming come next week there's going to be a.
They're not going to wait that long. The show's going to come out on Wednesday, and they're going to do it right after that.
Craig's going to hit send the minute he see once his notification for Piffles podcast shows up in his feed.
That's the one. Yep. It's a tale as old as time.
Okay, guys, they're up. Hit it.
All right. Yep. So yeah, that's the Rider news this week. And Rob Van Stone reported as well too. Sad news: former Rider linebacker Bill Manchuk passed away this past Friday at the age of 78. Obviously, didn't get to see him play
before my time too. So
yeah, but from what I understand, that linebacking group that they had when Manchuk was there, like that was a solid linebacking group. He was inducted into the Plaza of Honor in 2001. So I know he played for Edmonton as well too. Edmonton posted about that as well too. So if you grew up in that era, let us know. Tell us how he was. Love hearing about those old players that we never got to see. So
100%. And that's one thing I liked about the Plaza this week. Yes, I saw Best play, and yes, I know Alex Smith as a coach, both on the Riders and the Thunder, but hearing about Mullner and his, like, I didn't even realize he was a Regina guy through and through, and he came onto the team, and it just.
And his job was to replace George Reed.
I know, right? Like,
no pressure, kid.
No, yeah. You don't understand what this is like, do you? Okay, good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. But Bill Manchuk passed away on Friday at the age of 78. So sad news in Rutherville on that behalf. But that's the opening kickoff presented by Kathy Festian of Royal LePage Next Level. Let's get to Remember That Guy. Sponsored by District 306, Regina's tactical laser tag experience. The who's who and who's that. I feel this one might be more of a who's that of Rider Nation. So let's So let's see what you got here, Greg. How many Van Stones is this one?
Oh, I think this is about a 3. I don't think it's that hard, but are you hitting the button?
I did, and now it's gone.
No, it's back.
I'll stop touching stuff.
Please, yes. Do not touch buttons. Buttons are my job. Anyway, I think it's about a 3. And ironically, though, because we were talking about two-way players like Jerron Carter. So, first hint. This player played both offense and defense for Syracuse. In fact, in one game against Boston College, he scored 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, and a pick 6. He's a 2-time Rider. He's been a Giant, a Falcon, an Argo, a Nor'easter, a Cardinal, and an Alouette. And an Admiral, actually. Sorry, I missed one. He was also in the NFL Europe. 3-time Grey Cup champion.
Yo Murphy.
No. As a Rider, has 51 tackles, 1 sack, 5 fumble recoveries, and 3 interceptions. You're on the wrong side of the ball for the Riders. And he's a gem of a guy. An absolute gem.
I'm trying to think of a Diamond name. Is it Diamond Ferry?
It is Diamond Ferry. I'm like, you just said Diamond.
Diamond Ferry. Oh, man. Nobody has a better story about Diamond Ferry than Jamie Nye. I love hearing Jamie Nye's story about Diamond Ferry. It was Diamond Ferry had a bad game and wasn't made available to media. And this was at Old Taylor Field for a game. So Jamie caught him in the parking lot.
Of course he did.
And Diamond Ferry's eating a sandwich and just one word answers. But you got to ask the coach. Yep. Didn't answer anything. And he was just, I mean, obviously he was outside the stadium, whatnot, but just didn't.
No.
He had no interest in doing something like that. So that was kind of funny. But Jamie will tell it better than I would. But
no, probably. But I didn't realize he was a 2-way player in college. That game against Boston College, he basically played. They said basically almost every snap. Like apparently, it's like a legendary college football game where Diamond Ferry played both sides of the ball and scored 3 touchdowns, and that pick 6 was to seal the game. So, yeah, and 3-time Grey Cup champion, 2-time with the Alouettes in 2009 and 2010.
Yeah, and then here in 2013.
Yeah.
He was one of those signings in 2013 that, I mean, it was just one of those solid signings.
Yeah.
Getting a champion, getting a vet on the roster, knowing what it takes to win. And he didn't need to be, the all-star that he was in Montreal.
No.
And he did make some very solid plays. And I remember in the playoffs, he had a couple really nice tackles, some hits as well, too. So, Diamond Ferry never knew he was a 2-way player.
Yeah, didn't I think he had like 1 rushing touchdown in Montreal. I think they put him in for a gadget play. But yeah, everywhere else he played running back, and then when he came to the CFL, they switched him back to defense. And that's where he stuck. He also returned kicks in the NFL Europe as well, and in the NFL for, I think, the Falcons for a very short period.
Diamond Ferry on Remember That Guy, sponsored by District 306, Regina's tactical laser tag experience. I won't hit the buttons here, Greg. This is for you. Let's get to the Churchill Brewing Company odds and end zones. The big one I want to talk about is the Riders and Co-op announcing a partnership for tickets. So Co-op's becoming one of the bigger sponsors again for the Rough Riders. And years ago, obviously,
come on, Fantus Flakes! I want my Fantus Flakes back.
Get some Jamirios.
Garfala Flakes.
Ooh, I don't know if I'd want to take a chance on those guys. But
they're not great.
No, not at all. So partnership for tickets in the 600 level on the east side, 2,000 tickets per game for the final 2 games of the regular season. You have to be a co-op member, which is only a $5 membership fee. But you get all the equity and all that kind of stuff too, right?
Oh, so, is this a paid sponsorship?
No, not quite. But just giving the information, Greg.
I know. Hey, everyone from Saskatchewan has a co-op number anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. So all co-ops across the province, including the gas stations, the home stores, the grocery stores, they're going to have basically a QR code that you scan, and it'll take you to $20 tickets. So it'll be in the 600 levels on the east side, and $20 to get into a football game. Now there's no more excuses that prices are too high. This is a long overdue re-partnership between these two sides. Obviously, we know, Co-op had the merch and Fantus Flakes and Dairy-O's and, all Dressler chips, and Getzlaff had a cereal too, I think.
He did.
I forget what that was called.
It wasn't as.
It was like a berry. It was like, yeah, it had like a berry.
Like Getzlaff Crunch or
yeah, something like that.
Something like that, yeah. Or Waggle. What was it called?
Oh yeah, maybe it was Waggle cereal.
Yeah, something like that. It wasn't as
So $20 to get in, $20 for a ticket. It'll be $30 for Labor Day, which again, still not bad. But the $20 that includes playoff games. So we have a home playoff game coming up this year. It's not officially clinched, but it's going to happen. Our magic number is 1 to get that. So $20 to get into a playoff game. Great stuff from the Riders. Just get people in the doors. We've been saying this. We've harped on this for a couple of years now. Just get people in there. I know it upsets some season ticket holders and I know
somebody think of the season ticket holders.
So what is the benefit of being the season ticket holder now? If somebody can just pay $20, well, there's no guarantee that these seats are going to last. There's only 2,000 of them available. Yeah. So season ticket holder, you're guaranteed your spot.
Okay, and if I'm a season ticket holder, and if I am a creative season ticket holder and I want to make money on it, I'm selling my tickets and buying tickets up there. If you really think it's that big of a deal,
yeah,
like come on, like it's simple math, people. Just do some wheeling and dealing here. But the fact remains, though, you're right. This partnership is long overdue, and 2, this entire concept is something they definitely lost coming from the old stadium. Because I remember was it Connexus had it in the corner, or back when there was Sherwood Credit Union, where like Fat Cat always was, like they had a similar idea in the corner of the old stadium before they took that out when they put in those temporary seats.
Yeah, in the end zone, that's the family fun zone.
Yeah.
Yep.
So why not? This is something this is good for families. They're gonna save some money, and they're still going to see a game. And sure, it's in the 600s, but
the view is great up there.
Yeah, I'd argue any view in that stadium is a good view. But it's, I don't know. I've learned recently, and like I said, I love Rider Nation. I hate Rider fans sometimes, but there's no pleasing some people. There's literally no one that is happy with anything the Riders do because, well, how does that affect me? Not everything's for you, bud. That's just the way it is.
Season ticket holders, you're guaranteed your spot. You got your home playoff game in there as well, too. There's no guarantee you'd get a home playoff game if you're just taking the chance that you're going to go stop and get gas after work. And those tickets are gone by the time you get there. You're SOL, right? And you get your 15% off at the store for being a season ticket holder. You get, if you sign the MVP, you got a jersey. You get
and why not sign with the MVP? Now I feel like I'm shilling for the Riders, but you get the jersey, you get like you said, the 15%. You lock in your prices for 3 years.
Yeah, they're starting to find that happy medium. Yeah, there's still more work to be done, but they're showing that they're willing to do it now. They're finally realizing that, okay, maybe we actually have taken the fans for granted over the last number of years. We got to get them back. We got to start making money here again. And this is a great way to do it. All those seats sit empty anyway. Just get people in the door.
They've realized they can no longer just roll out, put down a Rider flag, and people will just flock to it. Yeah. They have to get back in the community, and the best way to do that is make your game affordable. Show people the reason why people need to come to the stadium. blackouts were killing this team.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things Hobson did. He's like, let's show the fans how fun these can be. And right now, the only way you're going to be able to do that is get people in the stadium, because high definition TVs and way cheaper beer at home. A lot of people would just rather stay at home and watch the game.
Well, and take advantage of the team, going up on that upward trend where they're winning games. You don't want to miss out on that. So still work to be done, obviously. But they're taking good steps. Now just get some rider merch into more stores, co-ops now with this partnership. Wasn't too long ago where you could walk into any gas station, grocery store, and there's hats, t-shirts. Were they the greatest stuff? No, but they were affordable, and it allows everybody to be a fan.
Well,
Can't
and
afford that $50 shirt at the rider store? Well, the co-op has one for $20.
well, I remember early in the season, I kind of went to, I think it was one of the Regina co-ops, and I sent you guys a picture, and I'm like, well, this is new. Like, rider stuff was back in the co-op gas station. So you have to think they've been working on this for a while before they finally announced it.
Mm-hmm.
So
good stuff there from the riders, and that's I really don't have much bad to say about that. And I've been pretty critical about their marketing, but they're starting to turn it around and do better stuff. So they're getting there. They really are. Other stuff we want to talk about. What do you want to go with the Ticats and Bombers game from last week?
Let's do that one last.
Okay. Lions and Red Blacks. That game went exactly how I thought it was going to go.
I took the Pretenders, despite I should know better. That being said, if their defense wasn't so porous, they would have covered that number, because their offense can put up points. It's just that defense had no answers.
Dustin Crum is starting to evolve as a quarterback. He's the game's starting to slow down for him. Yep. So that's good.
And Pimpleton's unreal. He's a cheat code.
Yeah. But the Lions, they're only 6-7. They're tied for third place with Winnipeg right now. Yeah. So there's still a chance that they could finish anywhere from third all the way down and crossover.
I really wanted Edmonton to beat Toronto, so they were all three of them were 6-7, just to really watch Winnipeg sweat.
So, yeah. But with the Lions, Rourke's putting up great numbers. Their offense can move the ball with relative ease most of the time. Do the Lions worry about you if we ever saw them in the playoffs?
They're a team that can put up points. Like, their fourth best receiver is Barry Hill. And they've got Katoy, they've got Hatcher, they've got McInnes, and they've got a running back in the and they've got Nathan Rourke, who can be pretty good. So yeah, they've got a really good offense.
Thank goodness their defense is awful.
Oh, that's exactly it too. Like their defense is suspect. Like, and that's why they can beat an Ottawa and have trouble with us, because, like I said, Ottawa got 27 points on them, and Crum missed Pimpleton on that first play of the game. I thought for sure Ottawa was going to start the game off hot.
The long bomb,
and just Crum couldn't hit him on a pass, or else he was gone. And that game could have been completely different, because then they went 2 and out, and the next thing you know, BC's in their end zone. So,
the one you've been waiting to talk about for 4 or 5 days now, Hamilton and Winnipeg. Now, this was it was actually the Team Ted game. Yes. Ted Govaya, former assistant GM with the Bombers, now the GM of the Ticats. So because this is the first meeting of these two teams this year, in Hamilton, they were going to do a celebration for him. Unfortunately, he passed away
that morning.
That morning. So it was one of those, like, you feel so bad that he couldn't, get one more day.
Yeah.
And just saw the outpour of love. Like, I actually really love the rally towels and everybody holding them up. Yeah. That looked fantastic on TV. So obviously a very emotional game.
And and Ted, and before we get to that, and Ted touched so many people in the CFL. Once again, like I said, I did the Sports Cage on Friday, and we had Farhan on, and I asked him about Ted Gavaya and his legacy. I forgot he coached UBC for a while, so we got to know Farhan really well while he was out there. And Ted was about like football and getting the next guy up, and that's how he treated the UBC, and that's how he treated everyone in the CFL. He cared about everyone that played for him, and you could tell there's a lot of people in the CFL really going through their feelings that day because he was so loved and respected.
Yeah, so a sad loss for the CFL as a whole, Canadian football as a whole. Yep. But a great loss for the Bombers.
Great
Sorry,
transition.
Really bad transition. I apologize.
No, that was a good one.
There's no way to have
no
going from that subject, right?
No. I think he landed. I think he landed it though. Don't worry about it. I think he landed it.
I do wish Steve had power for this couple minutes right now to talk about Chris Streveler. He was awful. The interceptions he threw were, I mean, you'd expect that if I were to play quarterback in the CFL. Just awful reads. One was almost returned for a touchdown. Like that was.
And here's one thing, and we talked about coaching with our game and leaving Exume in a situation that he was not prepared for. What was Winnipeg thinking? Like is Wilson the worst quarterback they've ever seen? Because
Brady Oliveira was having a good game.
Yeah.
Why are you not giving him the ball 30 times when you have Streveler as your quarterback? Why are you letting Streveler throw damn near 30 times?
But also, once again, if Streveler doesn't have it, you have another quarterback on the roster, and you're losing anyway. So just why not? And Zach Schnitzer had the greatest rant I have heard since the Bradbury rant.
Oh, this tops Steve's Al Bradbury rant. This was something else. So Zach Schnitzer, Bonfire Sports in Winnipeg with Darren Bombing does post games after every Bomber game. The next morning.
Well, Zach went through his feelings that night as well, I'm told. I've not gone back and listened to it, but I'm told it was pretty good. And to which I told the person is, you need to go check out his his Twitter Spaces from this morning, because it is gold, Jerry. It is gold.
It was one hell of a rant. It was something special. So thank you, Zach, for that. So we have to thank Chris Streveler for giving us the rant from Zach Schnitzer.
I love the fact that he realized we were listening and called us out for listening.
Got a couple of the Piffles guys listening.
You had all three of us, Zach. You had all three of us.
Yeah. I just want to say it brings me good pleasure knowing that the two Bombers quarterbacks, Zach Collaros, Chris Streveler, are 1-2 in interceptions in the CFL this year.
And then I did the math. Streveler's only thrown the ball 136 times and has 10 interceptions.
10 picks.
And he has only 88 catches. So that means for every fifth miss, like 4.5 misses, he throws an interception. And for every 14th pass is also an interception. So if he hasn't thrown an interception in 13 throws, guess what's coming next?
Everyone's so big on analytics in football now. It was a thing in baseball before it was a thing in football, but now it's a thing in football. Why? This is what I don't get, is why you're not giving the ball to Brady Oliveira 30 times. Why are you letting the guy who's now tied for leading the league in interceptions throw the ball when he's never been a good passer? He's made a couple here or there, but he's never been consistently good.
This is what I don't understand. He was never been a good passer. Like, yes, Nichols got hurt, but the reason why they went out and got Zach Collaros out of the trash bin from the Argos is because they didn't trust Streveler to throw the ball. They knew then.
I want to live in that alternate universe in 2019
Where Nichols doesn't get hurt?
where Nichols doesn't get hurt and Zach's on the Argos.
Yeah.
I'm fine with us still making the trade. It made sense.
That was a good trade by the Riders. We got KSB out of it.
Yeah.
If Claris wasn't on the Bombers, we're in the Grey Cup. I know that.
And there's no way the Bombers would have had this dynasty.
Yeah.
This run.
Although
yeah.
I got to give Zach credit. He even said in his rant it wasn't a dynasty. Probably the most lucid thing he said the entire time.
The bottom line, the Bombers lose, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that they're in danger of completely missing the playoffs in a home playoff year. We know what that's like. That happened a couple years ago. So
I got to correct the record before some Bomber fans get mad at us. Zach and Chris and Strebler are no longer 1 and 2. They're 2 and 3. Arbuckle threw interceptions.
Yeah, that's right. He did
to be number 1 on the interception chart.
Still, they suck.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Winnipeg teams that suck, the Rifles losing to the Thunder this last week. Was it 25-12 on Sunday?
25-12. The defensive battle, but not even a defensive battle. It's one of those we had them on the hook and we just couldn't put them away. Honestly, the only touchdown they got was a fumble recovery, scoop and score on a Jackson Ashman tried to make an extra move, gave a stiff arm and got the ball knocked out of his other arm. So then the rifle was off to the races. But yeah, no, the Thunder defense held tight. Just got to score points. Like the Riders, they got to score points, and the points didn't come until like the fourth quarter. So.
Hey, win's a win, and they got the Rifles again this upcoming Sunday.
And if you're in Winnipeg, that game is going to be a fist fight because it was getting pretty chippy at the end of this one.
Was it?
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, those home and homes usually are. So,
well, it'll be good watching another Winnipeg team lose again this week.
I will be watching. I don't think I won't be going to Winnipeg, so I'm probably watching on CGFL TV. So.
Do go. Let me know. I'll send you my my Red Barn Tupperware.
Oh, you want shawarma while I'm there too?
I do. I didn't get any on the Banjo Bowl trip.
What?
So. The lineup was so long, and then we were so far away in the upper deck. I was like, I'm not going down there.
Fair enough.
I regret that. I wish I would have. I was so full though. Golden Boy fed us at the tailgate.
Oh,
though.
nice.
Yeah, so we were well fed. We were good.
Oh, yeah.
No enemy preview this week with the Riders having a bye, but we'll do Piffles picks for the other 4 games. So let's get to it.
Piffles picks.
Well, folks, when you're right 52% of the time, you're wrong 48% of the time.
You're gonna nail that this year. I am positive.
I'm getting there. I am getting there.
30 and 28.
Yeah.
On the season, you're. I think that's what you have to do is finish 2 games.
2 games above
500. Yeah, so just go 500 the rest of the year, and you're good. So, few big games this week in the CFL. The first one is the first game on Friday. Doubleheader Friday, doubleheader Saturday. Montreal at Toronto, a big game for obviously both teams. Montreal with still saying Davis Alexander is another week or so away, but Toronto, Arbuckle's out 2 to 4 weeks. Chad Kelly's still not going to play, and it's
Jarrett Daggy.
Jarrett Daggy.
He did the final minute run or the final minute drive. So
yeah. Great post-game stuff from him, too. When he was walking off the field, he looked in the camera and was like, they cut me? I just beat them. So I love stuff like that. But a huge game in the East for second place.
Yeah.
Montreal at Toronto. I will guess the line on this one, Montreal by 2.5. Ooh.
I'm taking Montreal.
Yeah, I think I am. I am too. Just with the quarterback, you have no idea what you're going to get out of Daggy. Hopefully, he's nothing like his non-sibling
They're not brothers?
Deggy? I don't know if they are or not.
I'm pretty sure they are.
Are
I
they?
hope so.
Well, hopefully
I don't
he's not as bad as Seth Daggy was here. Although, to be fair, the team that Seth Daggy was on was an awful Rough Rider team. That was a bad team. Okay.
Seth Daggy was born in San Angelo, Texas. He has one younger brother, doesn't tell me a name. Okay, Jarrett Daggy. Let's look up Jarrett Daggy.
I think I remember looking this up before and couldn't find out the answer.
Jarrett Daggy played in Lubbock, also Texas, but not the same Texas by the looks of it. Boo! Why can't we have Daggy brothers? Yeah, San Angelo and Lubbock. Yeah, they're definitely not brothers. Cousins,
Right.
maybe? I don't know.
Maybe they are. Who knows?
Maybe they are. They're both bad quarterbacks, so they could be related.
The second game on Friday, the one that I'm most interested in this entire week, is BC at Calgary. I'll say Calgary by 3.5.
Calgary 4.5. See, here's the thing. I don't know if I want to bet with my heart or my head. Like, I really want BC to win.
Mm-hmm.
But also Calgary, I'm pretty sure Calgary lost to the Red Blacks coming off a bye, did they not?
Mm-hmm. I'll go with my heart on this one.
I'm going to BC too. I'm going to BC too.
You're going BC too?
Yeah.
Hopefully Rourke can do us a
Well,
favor there.
And flows out for the Stamps.
Yeah.
So that's a big loss on their defense.
Yeah. But they are getting Adrian Green's back this week for Calgary. So they're getting a little bit healthier in other spots there. Winnipeg at Ottawa. I have a feeling they'll probably say Winnipeg by 5.5.
Remember when I started laughing
It was
when I
this
opened up the lines? This was the one. Ottawa minus 1.5.
Really?
Yeah.
And still no idea if it's going to be Zach Caleros or Chris Strevler.
Zach was in gear.
Practice.
In gear, but he watched the entire time. Strevler was with the ones. Wilson was with the twos.
My guess is that they're going to go one more week with Strevler.
I think so. For their playoff future, I hope so. Because Ottawa is a team they should beat.
Yes.
But even with Strevler as their quarterback.
They've shown me nothing. Winnipeg has shown me nothing to make me think that they're going to actually do what they should do on offense, and that's just give the ball to Brady Oliveira.
That is all.
They haven't done it all season long. He's had success when they give him, the ball in the first half, and then they just forget that he's there. I don't understand it.
Yep.
So until they prove me different, I'm going with Ottawa. I'll take Ottawa to win that game.
I took Ottawa last week and it backfired on me.
This is a tough one for you.
It is a tough one. I hate both teams. I legitimately despise both of these franchises. It's like picking a porta potty at Craven on a plus 40 day. Oh, Ottawa. Ah. Congratulations, Winnipeg, on your win.
Well, hopefully that's one of the ones you get right.
Yeah.
Last game, Edmonton at Hamilton. I'll guess that it's Hamilton 5.5. Hey, that's not bad. I got two of them right.
That's a good line. That's actually a very good line for this.
Yep.
I'll go first in this one. I'm going to take Edmonton and Cody to cover this.
I think Edmonton can keep it close.
I don't think they're going to win. I think it's going to come down to what happened in Toronto. It's going to come down to the last minute.
A backdoor cover or something.
Yeah.
I'll take the Ticats. We can't have us.
We got to differ.
Yeah, we got to have one game difference. So I'll take the Ticats in that one. Not that I'm upset about taking that.
Any wild totals on these ones? You want to take a guess what the Edmonton Hamilton total is?
59.5.
56.5.
Oh.
BC Calgary's 54, and the other two are 51.
I can see BC Calgary being a shootout.
I think so.
I mean, BC has no defense, so
Yep.
they're going to have to score 30 points themselves, at least.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, without a game to look ahead to, we'll leave it there.
Next week we're doing all century team or quarter century team.
Quarter century team, yep. The for real edition. Won't have Dennis Guile as my quarterback on this one.
Coward.
Hey, if he actually got in and threw some passes, I'd pick him.
Of course you would.
I feel like Steve's probably still going to have Keith Toston on there just for the average.
Probably. And making a fool of Pruno.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep. But we'll look at that next week, and then I'll obviously look ahead to the game in Edmonton, where the Riders coming off the bye, and hopefully we'll get some answers with the injury report. That'll be one to monitor next week. But Piffles Podcast is brought to you by our great friends at Dairy Queen on Elphinstone Street and Sass Drive here in Regina. Special thanks, of course, to Kathy Feshton of Royal LePage Next Level, Churchill Brewing Company, District 306 Regina's Tactical Laser Tech Experience, Bigfoot Vodka, and Creasy's Premium Home Leisure Jacuzzi Spas for their support making this show possible. Thanks for listening wherever you get your pods, watching on YouTube or SaskTel Max TV on demand. We appreciate it. This is Ghost Behind Your Mind by Tyler Gilbert.
Thank you for being such a big supporter and fan of the CFL and myself personally.